Next station, please.
Good evening, Alpha India 6, Delta call.
That sounded like Joel, but it was awful weird echoing. You want to come back again?
Alpha India 6, Delta call. I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like you're talking inside the time tunnel or a tin can, but I've got you checked in, see if you can rectify it, and it's good to have you back. Next station, please.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec, Bob, in northmost Roseville.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec, Bob in northmost Roseville. It's good to have you back too. We missed you last week. Next station, please.
November 6, Delta Victor Mike, Stewart in Atomas.
All right, I got Stewart, November 6, Delta Victor Mike. I figured you'd be along. Good to have you. Next station, please.
This is Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta, Carol, Citrus Heights.
And of course, Carol makes it all possible. Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta. That was a righteous presentation you gave last night, too. So thanks for that. Next station, please. Okay, I'll ink myself in at the bottom. We got a pretty decent crowd tonight. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start with Alan, K6AGW. I am sure that he is ready to go. How about it, Alan?
Yes, sir. Ready, willing, and able. This is Kilo 6, Alpha Golf Whiskey. Everybody hold on to your socks.
That is truly hold on to your sock worthy for sure. By the way, people, yesterday Alan and I were in the daytime. We're testing with a couple of images on this repeater, and they came through exceptionally clear. I don't know if doing it in the daytime makes a difference, but clear meaning really few pixel pops. But for whatever that's worth. So for commentary, I'm going to go to Joel and see how he's sounding right now. Are you still with us, Joel?
Yes, I am, and I figured out the problem. I had two microphones on at the same time. So excellent reception, very few pops. We're looking up at a nighttime sky with a couple of houses in the foreground, and it's the weird clouds from one of those rocket takeoffs where it's kind of streamy torpedo-shaped type of thing with lights. Back to net, the I6DG.
All right, Joel, very good. We got you loud and clear now, so good job. Next, let's go to Bob, N6PGQ, for some of his insight. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, good quality, not too many pixel pops. They're obvious in the sky. It looks like a rocket launch and disappearing off to the left. I don't think this was taken here. Maybe down by Vandenberg or something to that effect, but it's a really neat picture. I like it. We'll get some details, and should be interesting. N6PGQ.
All right, any other comments before we go for the down low from Alan? Okay, Alan, I was thinking a takeoff or maybe you caught something re-entering, but I can see from the point it might be a takeoff. But anyway, tell us about it, please.
Roger. This is
Kilo 6 Alpha Golf Whiskey. This was on February the 10th. It is a space launch or SpaceX launch out of Vandenberg. And that's one big advantage about being in Southern California is you get a number of launches because they generally go south out of Vandenberg. So those in Los Angeles and San Diego, and of course I'm in Imperial, California, where this shot was taken. And I tell you, I've seen a few rocket launches in my day, spending some time down in Southern California, but this really was spectacular. I have never seen one light up the sky like this, and it really, I think, has to do with the proper time of evening where the sun has just set and yet the rocket and its off-gassing is fully lit in the sky. And in fact, this is my apartment building we're looking at, and where I have my K6 AGW call sign. That is my balcony. I'm on the second floor. And anyway, I ran outside with my camera, just kind of caught this launch last minute as I turned on YouTube. I saw they were launching, ran out there, and this is just my phone, of course, as well. And there you have it. That's my report on the image, and I really like this one, too. Kilo 6 Alpha Golf Whiskey.
Thank you, Alan. Those were some pretty fancy digs you had down there. So anyway, that picture is going to be in the realm of tough act to follow. But Joel's going to get like the first chance at that because he's up next. That's AI6DG. If you're ready, Joel, go right ahead.
One moment. Tell me if I got tone.
Yes, indeed you do.
PD 120.
That's a interesting locale to be sure. Next up for commentary is Stuart, November 6th, Delta Victor Mike. Go ahead, Stuart, with your insight.
Well, this looks like a Dutch windmill. It's a nice image. There's a lot of pops in this. It's not too distracting in the image, but there are quite a few. At some park somewhere. I don't know any idea where it is. It's a nice image and a cool windmill. That's it. N6NA.
Thank you, Stuart. Let's go to Carol, KP4MD, and see if she might know where it is. Go ahead, Carol.
Okay, yeah, this is KP4MD, and yeah, I have about, I'm guessing about 60%, 50% pixel pops in there. Maybe not that many, but there, yeah, it's somewhere around there. A lot of pixel pops all through the picture, but easy to see. Nice bright colors. It looks like a Dutch windmill on the left side. In the foreground, there looks like there's a person on a cement path, like a little sidewalk that's walking away from the camera. And I'm guessing someplace here in California, isn't there a place called Solvang or Salve or something that has a little Dutch community? It's kind of like a touristy place. That's all I'm guessing it might be. But I'm just guessing. Back over to you. This is KP4MD.
That's a pretty good guess. I didn't think of Solvang. Anybody else got any comments before we go to Joel's description?
A comment.
Go for it, Stuart.
I looked at the trees some more, and they intrigued me. Is this in San Francisco at Golden Gate Park?
We're about to find out. You know, one thing I want to say, I kind of wonder if like the pixel pop thing is just a luck in the draw where you fall in, luck of the draw where you fall in the order. This happens like a lot where like one person's picture will be real clear and then another person will get a lot of pops, but I just wonder about that. Anyway, let's go to Joel, AI6DG, and have him tell us about his photo.
You guys keep saying that like you're getting lots of pixel pops. I mean, I don't understand why that would be. I mean, this is medium power, probably 20 watts out to a good antenna, a good height up. But I do see that I'm not receiving this repeater very well. Where's the transmitter and receiver on this repeater? Anyway, yes, Golden Gate Park. So this is, I believe this is the Dutch windmill, and this is Wilhelmina Garden. This is the northern of the most of the two windmills at Ocean Beach. I think the other one is, what is it, Morgan Windmill or something like that. It wasn't in this windmill was not in the best of shape. There was some maintenance issues on it, but at least it's still standing because considering it dates back to well over 100 years, it's obviously had enough maintenance to keep it still in one piece. But this was just not this last weekend, but the weekend before that. I was down in on the Friday. I was down in San Francisco for 3 days. And picked the perfect day to go play tourist because it was a beautiful day, and there were lots of flowers, not just in this garden, but just all around, everywhere, lots of flowers blooming. Back to net, AI6DG.
All right, thanks for that, Joel. That windmill looks like it's kind of tipping over. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be, is it?
I think that's just distortion from the camera lens. It was straight up.
Okay. All right, we are going to move to Bob in northmost Roseville and see what he has for us this evening. Go ahead, Bob, if you are ready.
Okay, well, this is not going to be historical in terms of looking at old pictures, or it's not going to be a rocket ship, but you may recognize this picture, N6PGQ PD120.
Bob. Thank you. I think I'll take a turn in the commentary rotation. I know this was at like the kids event you guys did like this past weekend. I'm assuming that that you took this picture, Bob, because I saw another picture, same setup, except you were in it, so that other gentleman must have taken that one. But when it's time for you to describe your picture, I'm kind of interested to see what kind of interest you got from the youngsters. So that's my commentary. For next commentary, I'm going to go all the way to the top to Alan, K6AGW. Go ahead, Alan.
I think you forgot Bill, N6HA.
Oh, I did. Why did I not write him down? I forget where you checked in the order there, Bill, but I'll put you right after Carol. I'm sorry about that. That's the second time I've victimized you. Anyway, go ahead, Bill, with commentary on this one.
Okay. I'm having flashbacks. This is Bill, N6HA. I didn't check in, but I'm here, so I'll say hello. Yeah, this looks like Carol and Neil at, I think that young event they went to. Looks like a rainy day, though, so hopefully they got a good turnout. Crystal clear photo, though, not a single pixel pop. Probably the best I've seen on the net in a long time. So, yeah, hopefully you got a lot of youngsters interested in ham radio and N6HA.
Alrighty then. Are there any other comments before I go to Bob for his explanation? Okay then, Bob, tell us about your photo and your kids event day.
Well, this was taken at Hagen Park for their annual Kids Day in the park. And it did rain and drizzle in the morning, and we kind of crossed our fingers and set up our tarp and tent and everything, and then discovered that they'd had lots of cancellations. So we moved and picked all the stuff up, and we moved over right next to the Sacramento sewer display, and they had quite a few kids there because you got to play with all sorts of toys. So we had quite a few kids. The crowd wasn't near us, but we had quite a few kids come by. I'll let this drop. This was a event that the Samuel F. Morse Amateur Radio Club participated in, and of course, as you mentioned, that's Carol and Neil. And so we had a good time having the kids spell their name in Morse code and then sending it on a keyer. And we are doing the same thing with the River City Arts Club at Farm and Tractor Days in a few weeks, so everyone is invited to that, N6PGQ.
All right, Bob, thanks for that. Maybe we'll keep Morse code alive, which it seems to be doing okay right now. All right then, next we are going to go to Stuart, November 6th, Delta Victor Mike, and see what he has for us tonight.
All right, this is in my continuing effort to mix radios and medicine. This is PD-120.
All right, Stuart, I got that. I'm going to try the code, but now we're going to go to Alan for commentary on this one. Go ahead, Alan.
Okay, we have a few pixel pops for sure. Yeah, this is a different quality than the last one by a large margin. And we have a scientist, Claude Shannon, some anniversary, 1916. And past that, Nyquist-Shannon sampling theorem. That one went by me. Diabetic cat, Interesting waveforms and formulas, and yeah, the waveforms are interesting. And then the scientist has definitely some equipment behind him. And if I had my phone at the ready, I could get a whole lot more information on that QR code. That's what I got, Bill. Back to net control.
All right, thank you for that, Alan, and the QR code works. Let's go to Joel, AI6DG, and see what he has to say.
Frantically trying to find the foot pedal and make sure I get the boom mic down on the headphones as I run across the room. Diabetic cat. Nyquist Shannon sampling theorem. Isn't that something about the how the frequency of the sampling rate in relation to the frequency of what it's sampling in order to get a reasonable representation of the waveform? What's the QR code? Some event and a website for an event. Waveforms Fs divided by F equal 2.6, Fs divided by 5 equal 2.0, Fs divided by F equal 1.4. Sampling, okay, and the red dots are sample points. And what's behind him? Black and white photo, very stern looking guy on the right. Lots of something behind him. What is it? Wiring? Maybe a phone CO, a central office. Rack of equipment, maybe. Lots of wiring. Back to net. AI6DG.
Thank you, Joel. Any other comments before I go to Stuart for the explanation? All right, I'm going to assume it's Stuart still trying to connect the electromagnetic spectrum with veterinary medicine. The QR code does work. It took me to a site with looked like a PDF file, but it's got Stuart's call sign on the address. But let's see what Stuart has to say about it for reals. Go ahead, Stuart.
All right, well, this is a bit of a stretch, but hopefully it'll make sense once I describe it. Today is the birth anniversary of Claude Shannon. If you're not familiar with Claude Shannon, he may be one of the most important scientists of our time. He wrote a paper, The Mathematical Theory of Communication, which was seminal to communication, the internet, artificial intelligence, and radio communications as well. Very important. If you're curious, you should go look him up. The QR code goes to a poster presentation I gave at a conference 25 years ago. And I'll describe that a bit in a minute, and how the Nyquist-Shannon sampling theorem applies to measuring a serial glucose curve in any patient, any animal, human or otherwise. Break. So the Nyquist-Shannon theorem from Harry Nyquist and Claude Shannon, in digital signal processing, which is included in all of our radios today, in order to reconstruct a continuous signal, and a continuous signal in this case is a serial glucose curve in a diabetic patient, from a discrete sample, so you're taking blood glucose samples over time, like over a 24-hour period. The sampling rate must be at least twice the highest frequency in the signal, otherwise you get aliasing. And in this case, you try to draw a curve from discrete samples from this patient, and you get an erroneous curve. You get a curve that doesn't represent the onset of action of insulin, the duration of action of insulin, the peaks and the nadirs of the insulin. One more break. And 25 years ago, we were doing glucose curves on newly diagnosed diabetic cats in a clinic where they were stressed. Their blood glucoses were elevated, not natural, over some arbitrary period like 8 hours, not representing the full course of a glucose curve. And those results And when people would bring patients to me for continuous monitoring, I wanted to point out that these results were pretty irrelevant and not helpful and potentially dangerous to the patient. Today we have continuous glucose monitors that sample every 15 minutes. We use, in dogs and cats, we use human continuous glucose monitors. And in this case, we are now able to represent, given the Nyquist-Shannon sampling theorem, the proper curve, and we are better able to understand the nature of exogenous insulin or insulin given to a patient who's diabetic and make clinical decisions about their care. And that's essentially it, N6 DBM.
Thank you, Stuart. This is Bill, K6KRQ, with the Wednesday night River City ARCS Slow Scan TV Net. I'm going to pause here for a second to see if anybody else might have come along that would like to check in. Okay, Stuart, that's kind of interesting. That looks like a science, like a crossover between fields there. So that's interesting. In the instruction I had for getting the extra class license, they talk about the concepts of sampling and aliasing. Can't say I am totally versed in it because they go over a lot of stuff, but it's one of the things you learn about it with the extra licensing. But anyway, well done. Thanks for that. I also want to say, let me let it drop a sec. Thank you guys like Bill and Alan for letting me know on YouTube that I'm not losing my mind. I get so embarrassed when I leave somebody out. So I would have stewed in that if you guys wouldn't have put that up there. So I appreciate it. And yes, we are clairvoyant. Anyway, that said, let's go to Carol, KP4MD, and see what she has for us tonight.
Okay, yeah, this is KP4MD. I want to thank you very much, Stuart, for sharing that about the Nyquist theorem. And I was actually, I had experience with that back around 1980 or so. I wrote a machine language routine for the Timex Sinclair ZX81. It's a really small, cheap computer using a Z80 processor. And the machine language I wrote was to use it as a audio frequency counter. And I ran into that same situation. When you went above, when you were sampling a frequency greater than 1/2 of the sampling frequency, you got this erroneous results. So very, very, very true. I was aware of that theorem, but that definitely was demonstrated that to me in an experimental situation. Okay, this is going to be PD120, everyone, KP4MD.
is K6KRQ. We're going to go to Northmost Roseville. That's Bob, N6PGQ. See what he's got to say about this. I sure would like to know what all the stuff is inside of it. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, that is one heck of a go box. I'm jealous. We've got 3 radios, signal link modem, antenna tuner, power supply, 2 speakers, a SWR meter in the second row, and a thing that's labeled laptop storage. So good quality, quite a few pixel pops, but everything's readable. Could be interested to know whose this is and if we can see it somewhere in N6PGQ.
If we could see it somewhere, indeed. I sure would like to myself. Let's see what Stuart, N6DVM, has to say about it. Go for it, Stuart.
Well, I lost my image on the computer, so I'm looking at YouTube. This looks like an 8U rack, maybe. I think it's more than 6. I'm not sure. I see 2 signal links. I see 3 radios. I see, I think that's a tuner, maybe 1 or 2 power supplies. Maybe that's an SWR meter. 2 speakers. And yeah, I want to know. I want to know what the use case for this. But it's pretty cool. The image is great. It looks good. And again, I'd love to hear more. N6DVM.
Are there any other comments before we go to Carol? Okay, Carol, I'm kind of like mostly interested in what the enclosure is and how it was racked up, if you know. So go ahead and tell us about this picture.
Okay, yeah, this is KP4MD. This is actually a much better picture of one of the slides that I showed yesterday, which was N6DRY, Paul Gross's station that he used in his assisted living home that was perched on top of a wheelchair, and it was very poor lighting. You really couldn't see inside the box. So Ken, K6RMN, sent me this picture, which was a lot better picture showing what's in there. Yes, there are 2 signal links. The one on the right is on top of a Cantronics TNC, which is a packet terminal node controller. I'm not exactly sure of the model of that radio on the top shelf, but I believe that's a 2 meter or a dual band VHF UHF radio. There's a white label on that top shelf that you could barely read. It says Paul N6DRY, and on the shelf below that, the meter on the left side is an external S meter. These were it plugged in, I believe, to that HF radio. It was to the right of it there, and yes, the SWR power meter on the right side is definitely what you said it is. I believe it might be a diamond. I'm not sure. And then yeah, that's I believe it's a PowerWorks power supply on the bottom shelf left. Another HF rig in the center there, and on the right side it's an LDG auto tuner. And this box is, I said it was Pelican, and I was absolutely wrong. Ken corrected me. It's made by Gator, Gator, and he actually sent me an email, I believe, with the model number of that, which I may be able to find. But yeah, I'm going to have to look that up separately. But that's what it is. It's a really nice, clear picture of N6DRY's station in a box there that he had that he could roll out on his wheelchair. So back to net control. This is KP4MD.
Thank you, Carol. I kind of thought it might have looked familiar. I remember that picture from last night, and I was kind of impressed that dude was able to do all that, like with the restrictions of a senior living home. So don't know if Bill N6HA is like busy tonight, but I'd be rude if I didn't ask him if he wanted to participate and send us a picture. Are you still there, Bill?
Yeah, hi. I'm still here. I was busy at the beginning, but I'm free now. So, yeah, I'd love to participate. Thanks for including me. I did think there's maybe too many people, but it seems like we're doing good on time. So, yeah, I have a photo. It's going to be PD120 N6HA.
Man, I don't know. I'm sure there's a story behind it, but I'm going to give Carol first crack at this one, KP4MD. Go ahead.
Okay, it's KP4MD. I don't know what that is. Gee, can't say. Is that some kind of? I just have no. It looks like there's an antenna. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's an antenna that's bent over. Oh, okay, a broken antenna. That's what I'm guessing. It looks like the base of an antenna with an SO239. That's what you see on the right side, and it's open, so you can look inside the base. And on the left side, looks like an antenna that's like snapped in half, or maybe it breaks down that way. I can't say, but it does have the. It looks like the warning label on the side that they normally put on antennas to keep them away from power lines and that sort of thing, if I'm not mistaken. Just my guess. Back over to you, KP4MD.
Thank you, Carol. Any other comments before I go to Bill for what is for sure to be an interesting story? All right, Bill, take it away. Tell us about this. It does look like something snapped.
Yeah, you guys got it. It's not too interesting of a story. I think I mentioned last week I got a new antenna up. So this is the reason why I have a new antenna up. This is my old 2-meter only antenna, and it worked really well, and I enjoyed it. But the other day I noticed my SWR was through the roof, and I couldn't hear anybody, and it was kind of deaf. So I got and I look up at the antenna, and it's folded in half. I was like, well, that'd do it. So eventually I had some time to go out and take it down, and it broke off halfway halfway up there. So you can see that there's a plastic part that houses, it looks like a coil, and that whole plastic part just broke off. And there's like some magnet wire that's spun around to do some kind of coil, and you can see at the end of it there's a SO239 that this is where the coax plugs in at. So yeah, this thing's I don't know if it's worth salvaging, but it's in pretty bad shape now. So I think it served me well, and I'll enjoy my new antenna and probably use this one for recycling. N6HA.
All right, Bill, thanks for that. So I'm last guy in the rotation, so I'm going to send you all something now. It just so happens that the next two guys in the rotation are perfect for this one. So this is for you Sierra sojourners, and for those of you who are not yet, to encourage you. This is PD 120, and here it comes. Actually, Bill, N6HA is next on the commentary list, but Alan and Joel get a shot at it to close it out. So, Bill, go ahead and tell us what you think.
I was hoping you weren't going to call me. I'm not good with the geography. It was a great photo, though. Not too many pixel pops. A little slant on my copy. I don't see that on Carol's on YouTube. But no tear, so that's good. Looks like you're really high up, and there's a gentleman here. That doesn't look like you. I don't know if you have a son. You mentioned a daughter, but maybe that's your son or a friend. And yeah, you look like you're in the high desert, maybe. So I don't know where this is, but I bet if anybody would know, it's probably Alan. So let's see if he knows. And 6HA back to that.
Thanks, Bill. Good shot. That is my son. That's when he was a teenager, so that's quite a while ago. But anyway, both Alan and Joel might know where it's at, but we're going to go to Alan first, K6AGW. Go ahead, Alan.
Thanks, Bill. Nice shot. A few pixel pops in there, but not too horrible. and I think we're looking at the Owens Valley. We got a little bit of altitude, maybe a roadway. Maybe, I'm just going to throw out the road up to Horseshoe Meadows, possibly. I think I see a lake in the distance, maybe Owens Lake. And the White Mountains would be the range that's beyond Owens Valley. And those will top out at 14,000 feet. And an informational sign, of course, and your son, I kind of figured that was an adolescent there. And that's what I got, Bill. Back to you.
Okay, I'm not going to comment on what you said because I want to put Joel on the spot and see what he says. I'll tell you this, Joel, we were talking about this a few weeks ago with somebody else, so go ahead.
I've just been sitting here, but if we were in a room together, I'd be the one jumping up and down with my hands waving, pick me. Okay, so we're on Whitney Porter Road, just before it goes on up into the gully at the top of the huge switchback, and this is the amazing view that I made comment on. I think here a couple of weeks ago. So that's Lone Pine off in the distance with Whitney Portal Road winding up from it, and somewhere down there it goes past, I think it's Lone Pine Campground. We've got Owens Lake off to the right out of view, and Manzanar off to the left, with 395 going from left to right. And this is an amazing view, and you're showing such a small portion of it. And the lake off in the distance, that's Lone Pine. That's the green of Lone Pine of the city. I don't know if this is White Mountains on the other side. Isn't White Mountains further north, up near Bishop, which is quite an hour north of here, half an hour north of here. And I don't remember that sign being quite that nice, but it's been a long time since I've been down there, so maybe they've replaced it. But one thing for sure, this is an amazing spot. Back to Net, AS6DG.
Thank you, Joel. I kind of expected you'd know where it was. As for Alan, man, you were spot on. You were just off by Horseshoe Meadows instead of Whitney Portal. But very good for both of you. This picture is probably about 20 years old. My son was in his teens then, and he's in his mid-30s now. But you're right. It is a small portion of it. I think White Mountain is to the left a little bit, but I'm thrilled to share this stuff with both the people that know about it and hopefully encourage other people to check it out. It is a magical place. That's kind of corny, I know, but it's pretty neat. So anyway, before I close it out, this is Bill, K6KRQ. Are there any other questions, comments, or burning desires?
Comment.
Go for it.
Just have a couple of quick potpourri things just to add in. One, Bill, do you have a bird? Two, Carol, the Sinclair ZX81 was my first computer. I have fond memories of that frustrating machine. The image you shared of the Go box, I went to a local ham's house, I think it's N6NA. He has a very similar setup and a rig. And he was in the military, and he actually took his radios apart carefully and painted them military green to match the field radios that he used in the military, which is quite interesting. That's it. N6TV.
Thank you, Stuart. By the way, per your comment on YouTube, Manzanar is down there. I shared that photo a couple weeks ago. It's it's a little bit to the left, but you can't obviously see it in the photo, but that is the same territory. Any other comments, questions, burning desires?
Another quick comment, sorry.
Go ahead.
If you don't know, the White Mountains, at the top of the White Mountains, which I don't remember the height, I think it's 13,000 feet, there is a research station up there. I studied physiology as an undergrad, and there's a physiology research station up there. Quite interesting. So it's an interesting location, again, related to science, N6DVM.
Yeah, I think it's called the Barcroft or Bancroft Station. I forget. I should know that. I've read so much about it. But I'd like to go up there. But White Mountain is a 14er. It is one of the tallest peaks in the contiguous states. Anyway, one more try for questions, comments.
Yeah, KP4MD.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Stuart, if you want to get into painting your own rigs, it's actually dirt cheap to buy replacement covers from most manufacturers. I got the top plate and the bottom plate for FT857 from Yaesu for less than $20. So paint to your heart's content, N6HA.
KP4MD.
Go ahead, Carol.
Okay, wow, a lot of comments here. I did want to tell Joel that the repeater is up at 2,000 feet, and it's over on Pine Hill, so it's an excellent location, and it should be pretty strong to where you are. But, you know, this band is really weird. You can have your antenna in a place where you have a good, strong signal, and just move it like 6 inches, you know, and you'll hit a dead spot. And that's what I'm suspecting is happening with your antenna. May just be kind of in a place where you have a cancellation of a reflection there, and that's why your signal is not really all that strong into the repeater. That's my guess. And yeah, fine on the ZX81 there, Stu. I absolutely love that rig. Well, I called it a rig. It's a computer. I built it actually. What was the $99 kit back at the time, and had a lot of fun learning how to do interfacing of microcomputers with that. So I got actually into the machine language there with the what they call the Z80 machine language, and actually wrote what they call an assembler for it as well in machine language. It was a lot of fun. I cut my teeth on that. So back to net control. It's KP4MD.
Comments?
Go ahead, comment.
Now, I'm suspecting there's something wrong somewhere in my feed system because I'm only getting 2 or 3 bars on the repeater when I receive it, and you guys are obviously having trouble receiving me. I guess, rather the repeater is. So I need to just check the whole feed line, the antenna, unplug and replug, re-screw on all the connectors. Something's wrong. And I actually have a ZX81 or something like that. Picked up at a swap many years ago, and it's off in the closet. I think I got like the little 4K expansion module, and I don't know what all else. It's been a long time since I pulled it out, but I remember those Sinclair, the calculators. I drooled over their Sinclair scientific calculators. They were quite the thing back then. Back to net AI 6DG.
Thank you, Joel. Anybody else?
Comment?
Go ahead, Stuart.
The Sinclair had a 16K memory module that plugged into the back, and it was loose. And of course, you had to, if you were programming, say, in BASIC, before you saved it to cassette, if a fly landed on that module, it would loosen and then erase everything you've done. Very frustrating. And 6 dBm.
That's mighty tenuous. All right. Anybody else? Okay. This was a really good net tonight. I had a good time. I was particularly happy to snare Bill, N6HA, who thought he was going to hide out, but we got him in. And I enjoy hearing different things about people, what they did in the past and all that. So I want to thank all who participated in tonight's SSTV Net. It's a pleasure for me to do it. We hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. The net is officially closed at, I'm going to say, 10:06 p.m. This is Bill, K6KRQ, wishing all of you a good evening. 73.